Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey, Austin. Welcome to the Bing Lounge. It's great to have you here.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thank you so much.
You know, you're not the first guy to kind of combine a passion for music and for the environmental movement and sustainability and all that kind of stuff. I mean, Jack Johnson comes to mind immediately. He's really, you know, kind of out in the forefront of being able to do that kind of thing. And really obvious, in all kinds of obvious, wonderful ways. So welcome to the club, I guess.
Oh, I'm glad to be in the club.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah. And you've got this amazing 2-month tour project that you're going to do. But before we get into that, I wanted to find out a little bit about you. Kind of trying to imagine you as a little kid and wondering what you were like. Or did you start banging on pots and pans and drums and demand a guitar or what?
You know, there's a picture of me playing on pots and pans. It's pretty cliche, but there is a picture. And I wanted to play guitar. I remember being in a music shop, and there was a guitar. And I was like, oh, can I play this? My parents were like, yeah, learn the piano first, and then we'll get to that. And so I did, and then eventually did get to guitar, like 8 years later.
It's like a note to parents, you know. Don't just whatever the kid says, you should just go with that, you know. But piano's great. Totally love that too. It's a great jumping off point. I love something that you said. You wanted to be famous so you could do great things, and you quote the Steve Jobs biography, you know, where he says that the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones that do it, and that's your motivation.
Yeah, I just love that quote because so many people think that it is crazy, and it is kind of crazy. It's a giant world, but there's a lot of problems, and I don't know, I feel like if you're passionate enough and you follow that passion, and you can change things. I mean, just speaking of Steve Jobs, I mean, you can do a lot of things, but yeah, I read that and was like, okay, cool. All right, I'm on the right path. I'm just going to keep doing the crazy thing and believing that I could help change the world and change the way we do things.
Make it happen.
Yeah, there it is. There's the cry.
Thank you.
There's the battle cry. So you get going in music early and you find that you have that talent. How does the other passion come into play, you know? The composting, like we were talking in the green room, that I kind of see you with turning over the compost, the never-ending piles that have to be turned over.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know my roommates think I'm crazy. I'm the compost person in our house, and I, like you mentioned earlier, I've always wanted to be. I mean, that sounds kind of goofy and childish that I want to be famous so I can do great things. I always had this, every school I went to, elementary school, middle school, high school, I was like, oh man, I want to be famous so I can come back here and do an awesome benefit or something like that. And I always thought that at each time. And then I got to college and in the past year and a half or so, on a whim, started composting and realized, it kind of like opened my eyes to the just how connected everything is and how much better organic everything is than the other option. And it just kind of clicked, and it was like, oh, I've had this passion for music and then wanting to do something great, and there's so many issues in the world, so many awful things that are going on, and I feel like me personally, the environmental aspect, the pushing composting is something that I feel called to do in that part. And I know a lot of great people who are hitting the other issues, and I, stand united with them, but I'm going to do this while they're doing that, and just doing compost at my own house and setting up at my parents' house really showed me that it's doable. Everybody can do it. And that really, seeing that was like, oh, okay, so this is something that I can actually pursue and really do, and have other people see that they can do it too.
Yeah, and just keep on spreading the message, one person at a time. There's no hurry. That's just going to be the journey, you know. So you came across a group, an organization, a business called ILCOM. Tell me a little bit about that.
ILCOM is actually a bunch of young, ambitious, passionate people like myself that we all just kind of connected through college, and we're all just trying to do kind of the same. We've got like minds. I think that's why we work really well together. And Nick Adnew is the director, the head guy, and also like does everything that I ask him, and he's super amazing. And that's who this other guy who is a music engineer, producer. He's the music aspect of it, and he produced my album and recorded my album. And so it's a small little group of college-age kids just trying to follow their passion, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say follow passion. So somewhere like in the wee hours of a morning, you come up with this brainwave. It sounds to me like it sounds like it takes a lot of sitting around and talking about what you want to do and how you want to do it and how you want to get it done. You got the music. You've got this idea for environmental composting, sustainability path. And then with ILCOM, you're doing this amazing tour. Mm-hmm. And I like that it's working through vineyards and breweries, and you're kind of hitting the ground really, mm-hmm. where things are growing and happening and being and making. But the tour,
yeah, we started out with a traditional. Okay, we're gonna do a tour. We're gonna hit up a bunch of venues, traditional venues, and just do a traditional tour type thing. And then we really got to talking and brainstorming, and a lot of late nights. Like, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna pull this off? We're just like doing this for the first time. We don't really know what we're doing. Then we're like, oh man, we really like beer and wine, and wait, what if we like completely rethink this? And I've, like you said earlier, Jack Johnson, like his world tour where he took like 10 nonprofit organizations with him, and they had like this cool little camp thing where it's like, oh, look around at all these nonprofits, they're doing amazing work, and oh, here's Jack Johnson just by a tent playing guitar before the actual show, and just like this awesome idea of
very, very organically carrying it out.
Exactly, and having actual meet and greet with people and talking to people, and having this idea of playing music and just getting people together for music and alcohol. I mean, everybody likes that. And then but then also being like, okay, no, but there's real things that we can all work on, and pulling in people that are already doing this type of work and letting them share what they're doing, and just kind of having these, music lovers and environmental workers come together and share ideas, and then, go from there and be like, all right, awesome. I'll got to go to the next town and do the same thing and keep doing what you're doing. And, like this really, it's like, I feel like anything can happen when you just like stare in somebody's eyes and, hey, let's talk about something, like you can do so much. And so that's kind of like the idea.
Yeah, just sparking that conversation. And then the documentary, the ILCOM's going to be doing a lot of filming on this tour. So there's yet another side mm-hmm. to what the end product, at least of this first step in your journey, is going to be all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shooting that, and just so, we're going to reach people. We're going to be, talking directly with people. And then the documentary is for the Netflix folks who are like, oh, I missed that. Oh, well, what's this? Oh, just another way to spread the message on what we're doing.
Austin, it sounds like a mission that is far-reaching and never-ending. And these are first steps for you from the Bing?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am lucky to be here and kicking this off with some good momentum.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure to meet you and get to know a little bit about you, and keep being crazy. It sounds like really good advice.
I will.
Austin Farrell in the Bing.
Thank you very much.